don't make this $12,000 mistake. I want to tell you about a founder I met not too long ago. She was early stage, pre-revenue, bootstrapped, and didn't have money to waste. And she handed $12,000 to a company that promised to email her pitch to thousands of investors on her behalf, taking all that guesswork away. 30,000 contacts, all investors, all supposedly ready to hear from founders like her. She'd heard back from 0 of them. $12,000 gone. And I can guarantee that list was scraped off the internet, and it was not curated. It was not vetted, and not a single person on it have ever heard of her before that cold blast hit her inbox. So today, I'm going to break down exactly why this happens, what are red flags to look for before spending $1, and what actually works instead when doing investor outreach. Now, the problem with this spray and pray is when it comes to investor outreach, it should be quality over quantity. But more investors contacted means more chances of a yes. But investor outreach doesn't work like mass marketing campaigns, because investors at the early stage are not just evaluating your business, they're evaluating you. Before they believe in the company, they need to believe in the founder. And a cold email from a list they never opted into does not build that belief. And second, a scraped list has 0 qualification behind it, and it doesn't filter by check size, industry, focus, or by stage. Preference, geography, all the things. So you're emailing growth equity investors when you're pre-revenue CPG, you're emailing funds that maybe only write $5 million minimum checks, and you're at a $250K raise. You're emailing people who maybe even retired from investing years ago, and every single one of these is irrelevant emails. All irrelevant emails are doing damage. It signals that you didn't do your homework, and in the investor world, not doing your homework is one of the fastest ways to get permanently filtered out. Here is what that money should have built instead. Before you contact a single investor, you're going to want to build an ideal investor profile, and no, you don't have to pay someone to do this. Think of the same way you think about an ideal customer profile for your business. You're not trying to reach everyone. You're trying to reach the right people. Your ideal investor profile has 4 filters. One is stage. Are they writing checks at pre-seed, seed, or Series A? An investor who focuses on Series B is not going to be excited about your $5,000 raise, no matter how good your deck is. 2 is industry. Do they have a thesis that includes your category? A VC who's never invested in tech and focuses on CPG isn't going to start with you. Find the ones where your sector is already part of their portfolio. 3 is geography. Some investors only back companies in their region. 4 is check size. If you're raising $500,000 and you're pitching a fund who writes $1 million check sizes, it's time wasted, and you can't just bump your round up to meet them where they are. That math does not work like that. Now, all this information about investors can be public on Crunchbase, LinkedIn, investor websites, their own social media. You don't need to pay for all this. You just need to spend the time. A list of 10 to 20 highly targeted, vetted people, deeply researched investors are going to be better than a list of 30,000 random ones. Not because of luck, it's because it creates relevance, and relevance is what gets responses. Building the list is step 1. What you do before you ever hit send is what separates the founders who get the meetings from founders who get ignored. So stick with me. Once you have your targeted list, there's an outreach sequence that actually works. And you're going to start with LinkedIn or X. Check every investor on your list for mutual connections. A warm introduction from someone they already trust is worth 1,000 cold emails. But it's not always possible. And when it is, just use it first. But if there are no mutual connections, start warming that relationship before you ask for anything. Follow their content. Engage genuinely with what they post. See what they care about, what they're investing in, what questions they're asking publicly. And when you do that outreach, lead with relevant. When you have that great company and you want to connect, it's like, hey, I saw your recent post about X, Y, and Z. We're building. Let's get on a call. Instead, maybe ask, what KPIs do you like to see from a founder before investing? That kind of message tells the investors things immediately. You did your research, you understand their focus, and you respect their time. Compare that to that cold blast that everyone gets in their inbox these days. And before you ask for a call, consider asking for their input or something first, like a question about the market or reaction to a certain data point or an operational trend or a mistake their portfolio company made they're trying to fix, or I don't know. Investors respond to that kind of outreach when it's directional and not cold and asking for something right away. One more thing is, if you find a service promising to do this work for you for a flat fee, do your homework. Ask who built the list, how it was sourced, examples of founders who got meetings from it. If they can't answer those questions clearly, then walk away. $12,000 can be better spent elsewhere, and that's a mistake and not a one-time story. I hear this so regularly. As always, it comes from founders who are looking for a shortcut in a place where there are none. So here's what I want you to take from me. The quality of your investor list is a direct reflection of your ability to execute as a founder. If you can't research 15 people, build a relationship before asking for the money, and craft a message that shows you understand their thesis, that's a signal investors read in that way. So don't buy the magic bullet. There isn't one. Build the list, do the research, engage, engage before you ask, and let the quality of your outreach prove that you are the kind of founder worth betting on. If you want the exact framework for building your ideal investor profile and writing outreach that gets responses, I've linked some resources for you in the description below. And every week, I'm putting out real tactical content on fundraising grants and what it actually takes to build a fundable company. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.